Hello my friends, Asoka here, and for this video we're going to take a look at the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse The Dark Knight Returns Batman. So here he is. I picked mine up from the McFarlane online store, but I think this is hitting everywhere basically. It's not exclusive, nothing like that. And yeah, this is the Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is a reuse of, the Dark Knight Returns figure they've already released, but this is the more classic blue and gray kind of first appearance of Batman and that storyline kind of look for him. So yeah, let's get him out of the package and let's take a closer look. Alright, so here it is outside of the packaging. It comes with his bat rope with a batarang, two extra sets of hands, and then there is the lovely Frank Miller art on the trading card. Now, this is a hard figure to get right because even when you're reading the comic, the art changes from panel to panel. So trying to judge if this is accurate or not, it's pretty hard. Like if we look at the trading card, kind of like, somewhat resembles the trading card, but if you look at other pages in the comic, it looks much closer to what we got here. I think the oval, the yellow, I feel is a bit too much negative space on the yellow. It should be a little bit closer to the bat emblem, if you know what I mean. But I see what they were going for here. So I think it's a valiant attempt to kind of get you there. And I'll show you, well, let's do it right now. Let me show you how some other companies have tried to tackle this figure. So there is DC Direct, their attempt at this. And then here is Mafex. And Mafex, they make my favorite Dark Knight Returns figures. I just love the way these turned out. Even though maybe not the most accurate even, but they just look great. But you can see the bat symbol on the Mafex one, I think is the most wrong out of the three that we're looking at here. I honestly think DC Direct probably kind of has it close. And then also, here's the old Mattel one as well. Just so you can kind of see all these different takes on this guy. So, yeah. Four different companies. Four different companies. And they all kind of resemble each other, but then don't. So, again, a lot of different interpretation here. The belt, of course, looks consistent across all four companies. The bulk of the body, though, that also changes because, like, when you look at him on the trading card, he doesn't look super bulky. But then when you look at him later on in the actual comic book, he is very bulky. So even that is up for debate. Like, you look at that trading card versus, like this, doesn't really look like that. So again, Frank, God love him, but even his artwork in the comic is a little bit, I would say inconsistent. It just kind of changes a little bit. But God, do I love this comic book so much. But anyways, I know we're kind of going out of order here. So there's some comparisons to other companies' attempts. Again, Mafex, McFarlane, DC Direct, and Mattel. All right, let's get these guys out of here. And let's focus a little bit more on the figure at hand. But overall, I really love the way this turned out. I love the gray, the light gray here, the blue, a little more light there. The wired cape. Thank you, McFarlane Toys, for putting a wire in this cape. So I think it looks really awesome. You could really make a fun kind of silhouette here with this. And the logo, I think it looks pretty good. Again, I know it's probably a little bit too big or too much yellow, but I still like the way it turned out. And yeah, the face sculpt, pretty good. Again, it reminds me of Frank Miller's artwork, and that's all we can really hope for at this point. But yeah, articulation. It does have a thigh swivel. That's because this was a reuse, and the first version of this was on a horse, so that's why it has that. Joints are very tight. Hand is popped off completely. All kinds of fun today. All right, let's reattach the hand there. But yeah, I think he looks great. Not my favorite version of this figure. I still got to give to Mafex, but I think the logo is better on this version than on the Mafex one. And the cape, I think, looks really good. But yeah, there he is. There's the Dark Knight Returns Batman. Oh, look, he does have the peg on the back. Ah, interesting. All right, let me come back with some comparisons, and we'll talk more about this whole here in a moment. All right, here's a look at a few more Dark Knight Returns Batman figures. The one on the right is the first one they released. Then we got a Jokerized version. Then the one on the back is the Cover Recreations one. So the one in the back is the actual one that they are basing for this new one. You can tell by the chest. Like, the chest here does not match the chest on the original. So this one is based on the one in the back, which is exciting because this does have the peg hole, the hole for the peg. So if you wanted to, you could easily swap out the Batman that's on the stand here with this new one if you wanted that colored version, which I think I will actually end up doing because I think that will look cooler. And actually, let's just do it right here. I'm going to fumble. We're going to put this on the peg. See how successful I get with this. As you can see, it just connects in the back there. Let's pop that out. This is super dusty. Apologies. And let me just get this guy situated. Let's see how he's going to look on the peg here. I love these cover recreation figures from McFarlane. I hope they do a few more before the license ends. But there you go. Yeah, that works pretty well. I think I got this on backwards, but yeah, it works. And I think that kind of pops out a little bit more. Yeah, as much as I like this and the whole, the dark look they went for this one, I think the color version here, the new version, looks better. So I think that's the one I'm going to keep on the stand now. So that's I think that's going to work out pretty nicely. But there you go, my friends. There's your look at the Dark Knight Returns Batman figure. Sorry, this review is all over the place. I went out of order. I'm dropping things, guys. I'm very clumsy. I apologize. But hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you're in store for if you choose to pick up this figure. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.